Hey everybody, Jessica Griffith. I've been selling real estate since 2007, and there is not a day that goes by that I don't love what I do. And when I get to learn something new, not only do I research it to the fullest extent of probably crazy, but I like to bring this information back to you guys and share it because knowledge is wealth. And one thing I came across recently in my transactions is seller paid financing. And seller paid financing is when you've paid off your property and you put yourself in a position to be your own bank. And if you've done that, awesome job. If you haven't done it, maybe set yourself up for it because it's quite the accomplishment. And who wouldn't want to be their own bank, right? But if you're going to be your own bank, there's some ways that you can protect yourself and minimize your risk. And I want to bring those resources and tools to you so that you are in a more favorable position with your seller carry notes. Couple things that you want to do when you're negotiating is make sure you negotiate the terms of your seller carry note before you go into acceptance. And the reason why is because once you've gone into acceptance, it can be very difficult to change the terms of the seller carry financing without the deal falling apart. Now, depending on the shifting of the market, that could or could not be in your favor. So you have to kind of gauge that. When you're negotiating the terms of a third party note or a seller carry note, a couple things you want to look for. You want to look for a note consultant that can draft the note for you and include the state appropriate verbiage to make sure you're protected legally as much as possible. And you also want to look for a third party servicing company. And the reason why is because they will collect all of the payments for you. They'll send out the late notices. And depending on the servicing company, they'll even take care of the foreclosure process. Now, when it comes to the third party servicing, a couple of things that you can negotiate up front in those terms with the seller carry notes are that the principal, the insurance, the taxes, and the interest, and the HOA dues are all included in your monthly payments that the buyer is making. So the buyer makes the payments, the seller, the third-party servicing company, they distribute those payments accordingly. The other thing you can do is make sure that the buyer pays for those fees up front, not only the setup and the monthly servicing, because if you don't set that up front, then that's something that could come out of your bottom line down the road as a seller. Another thing to look for is, are you named as the loss payee on the insurance policy? So not only do you want the buyer to pay for a full 12 months of insurance at the close of escrow, but you want to be named as the loss payee so that if the property burns down or something happens and the buyer gets sued, there's some protection against the property for you, and you're named in there as one of the loss payees. And you're not foreclosing on a property where you're going to lose a bunch of money and hope you walk away in a better position. The other thing you can do is when you close escrow, make sure that escrow collects 2 months worth of impounds. So that's your taxes and your insurance and your HOA dues, land lease fees, anything additional that might be included in the monthly expenses associated with the real property. And lastly is making sure that your deed of trust is not assumable, and that if the borrower were to try to transfer it to somebody else and let them assume the note, that you would be able to call it due. And the reason why is because you're really qualifying the buyer at the time to make sure that they are the ones that can afford to purchase this property. So you don't want them to just go ahead and give away the rights to make payments and own the property. You want to be in control of that transfer. So it doesn't mean that a buyer can't come back to you and say, hey, you know what, I think I want to sell this property and these people want to assume the note. You can still qualify those people. You just want to be in the position that you have the opportunity to do that and that you're not blindsided by somebody who's truly not qualified to purchase that property in the first place. So if you need a note consultant or you need a third-party servicing company that can assist you with all of this, give me a call. I had to do a lot of research. Third-party servicing companies don't all send out late notices. They don't all handle the tax documents at the end of the year. They don't all handle the foreclosure process, and they all charge different rates. So I've got a full breakdown of a bunch of different companies. I can refer you to several. I can give you some guidance, and if you're looking to sell a property, I can also help you negotiate the terms of that sale to make sure you're getting the best value that you can. So anyway, my name is Jessica Griffith. I hope you find this information helpful, and I'm starving. I think it's time to eat.